Hey there, beautiful mum. Welcome to Fannying About, the podcast that keeps it raw, real, and ridiculously relatable. Whether it's parenting fails, fitness wins, or just learning to laugh through the madness, this is your go-to space for honest conversations, expert advice, and a little bit of fun along the way. Hi, I'm Lara, a sleep-deprived mum with 2 boys. I'm a personal trainer with a prolapse, surviving on burgers and coffee. Each week, I'll bring you tips, tricks, and a whole lot of real talk to help you navigate motherhood, rediscover your mojo, and feel good in your own skin again. So if you're tired of pretending you've got it all figured out and ready to embrace the chaos, this is your space. Subscribe to Fannying About wherever you get your podcasts, and let's figure it out together. Leaks, laughs, and all. Because life's too short to take too seriously, and your pelvic floor deserves better. Hello, everybody. Listening or watching. If you're watching, you'll know that I'm sitting in a car and it's about 30 degrees and all the windows are closed and I can't turn the car ignition on because it will make a noise. I'm hiding out in my car because this is the space that I have that I won't be interrupted by anyone, children. I have a pretty frustrating day, and I'm just wanting to share this with you all because you know me, I want to share all my real experiences so that no one ever feels like they are on their own, although I do feel like I'm on my own a lot of the time with this. Anyway, I've just I train at a local gym, and we do a lot of barbell lifting, which I love doing. And I'm used to doing it, and it feels good. But it just drives me crazy. My body, I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of living in my body. So I'm 3 years postpartum with my second son, and I'm almost 7 years postpartum with my first, and being diagnosed with a prolapse and a right-sided levator avulsion. Hypermobile joints, it's exhausting, and there was no support out there for me rehabbing anything. I searched, I looked, I've seen so many different pelvic floor physios, and some are brilliant, some aren't. So I retrained, I did the safe return to exercise certificates, I've done the postpartum corrective exercise, but I just feel some days is one step forward and 10 steps backwards. And I feel hard sharing this because in my head I expect to at least be heading in the right direction with the stuff that I've learned and the stuff that I train all these women who rely on me to help them recover from having babies. And I can't even do it myself. It's just get reminded daily I'm weak. I was doing a squat, clean and press today. For those who don't know what that is, I'm using a barbell and I'm squatting down and I'm coming into an up and a forward position to rotate round the bar and press up. It's an intense exercise. I could do it before I had children, and it feels good to me. The technique's right. And yeah, I'm used to managing the pelvic floor. I've got good at not feeling that heaviness in the pelvic floor or worrying about it. I breathe on effort. But then I noticed in the mirror today, I had this doming happening in my core when my t-shirt would lift when I lifted the barbell. And I was like, what now? Seriously, I asked one of the trainers to film it. And I thought, cool, this is what I'm going to share. This is a great technique to show people. And then I type in to ChatGPT, when I do this lift, I noticed this. And then fear-mongering comes up, You shouldn't do this. You should go and get it checked, all of this stuff. And then I say, okay, now can you answer me science-based answer? And Dr. Sarah Duval, who I was trained with postpartum corrective exercise, and it comes back so much better. Pressure management issue, core work, breathing strategies, but it's still frustrating. I'm constantly feeling it. And then I'm feeling this heaviness in my pelvic floor a lot recently. So I look into that, and it turns out it could be to do with perimenopausal symptoms because your muscle tissue changes, and you can look into doing vaginal estrogen to help improve the elasticity and the strength in the muscle of the pelvic floor, which makes sense. Again, no one's sharing this stuff. It's like constantly having to try and figure it all out yourself. That's my rant. I just want to, I guess, put things in perspective about what I just said so that you don't feel like you're broken. It's just fucked, isn't it? It's like there's so much that happens when you've had a child, and some people come out of it better than others. And there's my frustration. But also, there's no rehab. There's like total neglect when it comes to postpartum care. It's like, get on with it. What I said earlier about doming and why it happens being a pressure management issue, because pressure needs to go somewhere. And if there are weak points, like my avulsion in my pelvic floor, which is muscle off the pubic bone, it's only surgery fix, and they can't even do surgery on it. Umbilicus is like the doming that you get in your stomach if you've got ab separation, or you can have a hernia, which is a similar thing. A pronation, like coming out of the area of your core. Hypermobile joints that can give under load, like a wobbly knee or a hip, or if you've got imbalances there. Your core needs to be functioning well. So your core isn't just your tummy and those six-pack muscles. Think of it as a can. People explain it that way. It makes sense to me. So the top part is your diaphragm, the bottom part is your pelvic floor, the side is your back, and the other side is your TA, so your transverse abdominis, but you've also got your obliques involved there, and your rectus abdominis and linea alba, and that's the connective tissue at the front, where you get your ab separation after you've had babies. Now, visible doming is your body's warning sign. It's not a failure. I'm telling you this, and I'm telling me this. It's a warning sign. You know how you're driving a car and lights flash up and your car's telling you there's something wrong, I need some oil, or I don't know what other things happen. I only know the oil flashing thing and the petrol. But you know what I mean. So, like I said to you, pressure management isn't a bad thing. It's just it needs to be handled better when you're doing certain activities like a barbell squat, clean and press. We won't even get started about my asymmetries because of the avulsion, but for most people, when you exhale on effort, so when I come into my collection of the barbell and then press it above my head, that is effort. So I exhale on that movement. And actually, when I did that, when I was more aware of doing it and keeping my ribs stacked over my pelvis, there was less doming. So I was actually doing that and then going into a box jump. So fatiguing my pelvic floor as well. Breathe out on effort. So when you land on the box, or when you're jumping, when you land, you breathe out. So you get that nice natural lift of the pelvic floor when you breathe out. This prevents excessive downward pressure on the pelvic floor. So you can still do things that you want to do. It's just managing it in a better way. Now, the next one I mentioned was stacking ribs over pelvis so that your rib cage is in line with your pelvis and you don't flare your ribs. It's a common one postpartum. Ribs flare because they're accommodating for baby. And I have a slight rib flare on my left more than my right. So I'm working on that with my core and my breath coordination. Think light brace, not like a steel. Someone's going to jump on my stomach, because pressure can come, out of the pelvic floor if it's that weak point for you. Dynamic tension, not static squeezing. So engaging your core for force transfer, not just to prevent doming. So exercises like dead bugs, pull-off presses. You can have a look at my YouTube if you don't know what I'm talking about with these. Exhaling on effort, meaning that you don't feel that bearing down in your pelvic floor, and you actually then don't get that doming either. It's all about that controlled exercise, something that is very easy to get wrong when you're in a gym class environment and they're pushing you to lift heavier, and you get caught up in the moment and you're like, yes, I feel good, I can do this. And then you've lost control, you've lost coordination. And yes, it's exhausting, sick of thinking about things all the time. But the more you get that control, the less you need to think about it because it's ingrained in you. Next one is the glutes as stabilizers. The glutes are so important to get strong, and not just the glute max, the glute med, those stabilizing muscles. So doing like single leg stuff, balancing. The glutes absorb load and they reduce the back and the pelvic pressure. So, like I said, single leg stuff, single leg hip thrusts, split squats where you've got that staggered stance, which is brilliant, that I love doing. I find that I've got one side uneven than the other. You may find that too. You have that controlled breath. I'm doing short explosive movements like medicine ball throws for power, banded pull-ups, breathe out as you come up. And the thing I mentioned, the jump variations, you don't have to go straight into box squats. You can just do little, they're called pogo jumps, when you come up on your toes and you drop down onto your heels. So breathing out on effort as you drop down onto your heels, and you focus on the control, not about weight. And monitor feedback, not ego, like happens when you get caught up in a class and you're like, yeah, I'm going to load heavier because people are like, you could do heavier. Let's praise people for not feeling vulnerable in the pelvic floor or actually getting a technique coordinated right with their breath. Let's praise people for that and not for you've lifted heavier, but your technique was crap. These aren't just tips. They're ways to reclaim control over your body so you can feel strong without risking setbacks. Now, strength looks different for everybody. And I think in my head, I was like, talking it out now, yes, it's okay to get angry and grieve and be frustrated, but I also want to use this as an empowering thing, a lesson for me, an empowering thing for you guys, hopefully. I don't have to do a squat, clean and press, do I? There are so many other exercises that I can do. And I guess it's a bit of a grieving process where, yes, I used to be able to do that without having a thought about it before children. And now I can't. Would I have not had children in hindsight? No. It's just I've learned a lot about my body and now I'm in a new phase. I don't have to lift heavy doing a squat, clean and press to feel strong. Being strong doesn't mean lifting the heaviest weight. It means moving confidently, safely, pain-free, picking up your kids without worrying. So if you're feeling setbacks, like me, it's normal. I'm telling myself that too, because progress isn't linear. It's one step forward and 20 steps back for me at the moment, especially with pelvic floor and hypermobility history. So thinking about small wins, they matter. They do matter. And it helps. The fact that I got to do those box jumps without leaking, like I couldn't have done that in the past. Maybe you've been able to run without leaking or feeling heavy, or I can coordinate my press. I know what I did wrong. So I know that's a win. That's a little sparkle. I don't like wins. I like calling them sparkles. A day without back pain is another win. A day without feeling that pelvic pain that you can get after having babies, pubic symphysis. I had that with a client who came to my yin class and she left and she hadn't told me that she had this pain, and she left saying, I don't have that pain anymore. And it was brilliant. That is a massive sparkle. So if you're living with postpartum changes, prolapse, hypermobility, injuries, your body isn't failing you. You have grown humans inside your body. Please understand that that is a massive deal. And just because society says that we should have bounced back after 6 weeks and we should look lean and toned and be bouncing our children around with ease, it's bullshit. So think about smarter strategies, awareness. So strength is yours to reclaim, and it may look different, and that's okay. Focus on pressure management that we were talking about, efficient force transfer, single leg stuff, and celebrating those little sparkles in your body. You are strong. That's it for me. Thanks for listening. I hope you gained something from me having a little bit of a cry. Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Please hit subscribe to keep up with our latest episodes and leave us a review on your favourite platform. It helps more people find us. If this episode really resonated with you, please do share with another mum. Thanks so much.